Hello reviewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, we're going to talk about a unique topic which is portable NAS. So let's dive deep into it. Now, before you understand whether you need something like this or you have to have something like this, you have to understand what is the need for it. Well, reality is that we are all creating data, meaning our mobile phone photos went from barely 1 megabyte to 2 megabyte to actually reaching 15, 16 megabytes, and that's JPEG. And some cameras, mobile phone cameras can even store RAW, which is huge. And God help you if you are trying to capture a video. Heck, video is becoming on mobile phones so big that Apple literally introduced USB 3.0 or like 10 Gbps just so they can use SSDs so they can capture ProRes, Apple ProRes RAW. So let that sink in. The video creation and stills creation that people do just as an average thing, it's becoming brutal. Meaning even if you are just going on a picnic or just doing things, the photo and video from even a basic trip is becoming more than 50 gigabyte. And I genuinely hate the fact that almost even Android, they have stopped using SD card. So now you have to delete old files. So, or hope everything is uploaded in the cloud, which again, all the free tiers generally downscale your images, so to say. And multiple users. So if a family is there, family of 4, you will have lot of data. So that's one ecosystem just for as a quality of life, that you need something on the go. Another aspect, job fields where like you are getting paid for it, like you are making money from it. In those sort of scenario, you need it. Like for example, content creator, event organizer, or field survey. Basically engineering people, if you think like, okay, video makers are making data, engineering people will be like, bro, that's nothing. Like whenever they are flying drone of this sort of design that generally has lidar, you do not want to see the file sizes. It's brutal. And not to mention, sometimes they will have multiple passes, especially if it's a critical infrastructure or something like that. Yeah, the file sizes are just lol. So data is core here, meaning you can't just say, oops, my memory card got corrupted or this happened. Like oops is not acceptable. Like it could lead to severe financial loss or harm. So oops is not allowed. So there are certain constraints. First is it has to be fast because time. Large, meaning you should be able to dump data that is accepted out of your work. And safe, meaning it is like, hey, it's there, you can trust it. Secure, meaning nobody else should be able to access it just by lol. Basically, it cannot be like, oh, I took out your memory card from your camera, now I have the file. That's unsecure. It could be safe, but it is unsecure. So what tools we need to have in our this magical device or portable NAS? Well, you need something that can do data intake. Basically, there must be a lot of way to dump data into the system and store data safely. Now that is a critical part, meaning you should not have one point of failure. As in, if you're like, hey, I have one SSD and I'm putting everything there, that's not a backup, that's hope. That's just trust, and be mindful, there will be one day it will fail. So that's why we have learned the hard way that thou shall always have RAID system. Now it could be 4 drive RAID, 2 drive RAID or 3, but it has to be at least 2, meaning you should have the abilities like if one poops out, you have data still. So storing data safely requires that. Failure to do so, you're just hoping and praying. Now it needs a lot of connectivity option. Again, that's an outcome of our world. We do not have a scenario where everybody is using one memory format. So it's not like, okay, everybody is using SD card. Some are using SD card, some are using micro SD card, some are using CFast card type B, some are using CFast type A card. So that creates the scenario where it's like you do need a lot of inputs, or maybe you are like, shooting from ProRes RAW or Blackmagic where they are directly saving the file on SSD. Now you need a USB digestion system. So lot of connectivity has to be, and ideally a network also, so other people can use it, be it wireless or be it network Ethernet, but more options are better. So that is there. And battery backup is a wise add-on, meaning even if you have a power adapter that is plugging in it, you could have a scenario where like, power was disconnected or UPS restart happened, like something happened. So device should have some endurance where it's like, I got this. Even if it's just enough where it can do safe shutdown, that was very good, so to say. So battery backup is a very wise add-on. It's not just like, it's like, whether we have it or not have it, it's not important. No, it is important. So battery backup is there. And data may be sensitive. What you are dealing with may be so sensitive that is like, hey, I can't just have other people access to it. Like some data is like, not that big of a deal. But other data is like, whoa, forget about losing your job. Like you might get into jail if you lose this sort of data. So data may be sensitive. At that sort of time, you need encryption and authentication, meaning not only it's like the data should not make sense if somebody got it, people should not be able to get access to it unless they authenticate it. So that's the requirement. And we are talking about some serious speed because 4 gigabytes per second or 40 gigabits per second is now accessible to normal video equipment devices, because CFast type B slots, they have PCI 2 PCI lanes and running at PCI 4.0. So they are 4 gigabytes. And again, you can buy a card that can easily saturate 3.5 gigabytes. So you need 40 GPS link. So yeah. If you're like, okay, I'm gonna have like ancient computer, most computer cannot have, read and write file at that speed. So you need some, like the requirement is there. You need UPS, you need a RAID, you need enough capacity that you do not have to worry about it. You need connectivity. All of those things are a very expensive mix, so to say. So ironically, one company that mastered this is Amazon Web Services. Now you have to understand, they have data center. Now Amazon Web Service became a big deal in the old days, as in like 2010 plus. So in 2015, they kind of realized this hard thing. Optical fiber, data center to data center is not that great. Meaning, if like, hey, we want to migrate our data set from our place to your Amazon Web Service, they can't do that. Like the amount of data they needed to ship, it was taking 10 years. That's the estimated. And be mindful, at that 10-year period, that link would be saturated, meaning there you cannot use that link for anything else. But again, that's not acceptable if you are moving data centers. If you're like, okay, we are migrating data from this data center to that data center, you can't block out the system because that will be a shutdown. So what to do? So Amazon had the option, big bucks, huge bucks, a truck on a box, so to say. So this is they call Snowmobile. That is exabyte class truck, meaning each of those truck can easily handle, and again, this is old data. I'm pretty sure now they must have upgraded it, can easily deal up to 100 petabyte. Now, there is no scenario where you can transfer 100 petabyte from A to B faster than this, especially if they are far apart. Because be mindful, you can say, hey, can't we have fiber that is like, 400 gigabits per second? Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. GG. And you can have multiple link of that. Here's Steve. You can't do that like, okay, we're gonna lay trench those fiber hundreds of kilometers. The moment you increase the distance, this starts to become logical. Again, there were other companies who are like, we have a lot of satellite data we have been capturing for years and we are storing them on tapes. And like, wait, tapes? Yeah, tapes are the only thing that can last for 10 years. So they store it, but they do not know how to digitize this, because how would you do that? So they're like, okay, we're gonna send this truck, you keep digitizing all the tapes, automate as many as possible. And yes, automatic tape libraries are a common thing. So you just keep digitizing the data goes into this, and once this truck is full, we send the truck to basically Amazon Web Services, and there they dump by like 400 gigabytes per second fiber each link, and they can have like 10-20 links if needed. So that way they can solve the bottleneck problem. So that's how they started, because again, it was a big issue where how the heck you shift petabytes of data. So Snowmobile was for like big puppy, meaning few trucks can ship enough data that's like, what do you have that this can't handle? Like realistically speaking. So that is there. Then they made a smaller version, which is Snowball. Snowball has two systems, Snowball and Snowball Edge. So Snowball is that blocks, and that box has a compute inside it with NAS system built into it, meaning, and it is tested like hell, meaning Amazon went bit beyond. They went a bit cuckoo with that, meaning that box, it's very hard to break that box, like very hard. Like you're like, what if I drop it? It's like, bro, I do not care. What if I heat it up? It's like, bro, I do not care. What if I freeze it? I do not care. Like they put some effort into it, like the engineering of that box. Like I really wish somebody can show a tear down of this, because it's like, damn. And it's so good. Like just as a computer with robust data, that Army was like, hey, can we have few of those? I'm not joking. Army was just like, you're telling me that you have a computer that can just work and like just like robust? shut up, take money. It's like, for example, if people are stuck in a disaster recovery and you need a compute hardware there where it's like you are cataloging who is recovered and you are doing surveillance and all that, which again, it's a very necessary requirement. You need something that you can trust. That became trust. So people pay a lot of money for that. And again, if you want to transfer few tens of terabytes of data, those are generally utilized. And they can even do compute. For example, if you're like, hey, we have this factory and we are doing compute, this can do everything. And at the end of the month, once it's full, you put a new box in, ship the old one, and then it goes to Amazon cloud service. So again, you cannot buy them. You have to rent them. They are not designed for buying. They are just a service, so to say. And then now, very recently, they introduced a Snowcone. So Snowcone is just a small NAS. It's very small. So the idea with this puppy is like, if you are just dealing with few terabytes, like not tens of terabytes, like 4, 8, those sort of thing, terabytes. And again, they even thought of this, like how do you ship it directly? There is no box on it. They designed it that you can throw it and it will work. And how the heck you print out labels? Don't print out label. They have e-ink screen, so you do not have to worry about it. So it's surprisingly how much effort was put into making this sort of thing. And every aspect of it, the physical design, the chassis, the layout, and the Gorilla Glass on this, like they put some money into it, some serious R&D, or it's literally what we call someone's passion project. So, and it's many other fields are like, dude, we need this, like flat out. Amazon Web Service had the side idea and now it's like, whoa, it's actually useful. So we have a truck, we have a box, and we have a small box. So that's how things got started. Now there are products, for example, if you want to buy it, you can buy a lot of products. So products give you advantage, that is compact, convenient, but expensive AF. That's the penalty. Let that be very clear. That's why I'm not making each devise in detail, because again, most of you will lose hope the moment you look into the price. So be mindful of that. So Stallion PC Pocket Cloud they created, this sort of Pocket Cloud. It's very small, like you can actually put it. Unfortunately, it does have only one NVMe SSD, not two. So it's not that great, but again, better than nothing. But it's 30,000 rupees and you have to pay for NVMe SSD, which price has gone stupid. So yeah, that is there. So what's the benefit in this? Well, it's small, meaning you can put it in your pocket. It has decent enough speed, meaning you can transfer up to on Wi-Fi 200 to 300 megabytes per second, or cable up to 500 megabytes per second. So decent speed, and it has a display. That's the good thing, meaning you can actually see what are you doing, how much empty space you have. So that is there. And it has onboard battery. And what was shocking to me, that battery is replaceable, meaning you can keep using this for years to come. And be mindful, you can buy NVMe that is up to 8 terabytes. So it is a decent thing, but again, it's more of a, it does not have RAID. So that's the only weakness in this design. But everything else, it also acts as a Wi-Fi hotspot. So everything is there, mobile app is there. It's a very unique design, but I'm like, just kind of like, just put another SSD, it's done, just done. So, but be mindful, this is not very fast. If you're like, okay, I'm doing a red camera shooting and then I'm going to use this, it's like, yeah, this is not for that. Not for that scale. This is more for like, just having something is better than nothing. In those sort of scenarios, this makes money. But other scenarios is like, it's too underpower for that. And then you have UnifyDrive UT2, this puppy. This is far more robustly built. And it has card reader, built-in card reader that is decently fast enough. Unfortunately, they forgot they're supposed to add a screen into it. So there is no screen. That's the most ugly part of this. And it's like 40,000. But it has a RAID, meaning you can put 2 NVMe and RAID them, meaning you will not have single oops failure. And it also has battery. This one can run for long duration on battery because again, low power SoC, so all that. This one will not run long enough for battery, but again, enough that you can have like, swap out your power banks and all that. That's why I said like having battery inside is more of a backup UPS and all that. So, and it has decent enough coverage, and for most people this is fine. And again, it does have cooling fan also, because they realized if you have SoC, NVMe and truly trying to do hard work, it's like it will overheat if you do not have cooling. So they have cooling and Ethernet jack also. So you can just connect it, tada. This also has Ethernet jack, but you have to buy the dock. Dock also has NVMe slot. So this is a bit undercooked. It feels like design philosophy is good. Everything about this is good. And a lot more people would be satisfied with this if just like have 2 second NVMe slot. This is far more professional, but not having display is like really frustrating to use, meaning you have to know or use it via mobile app. If you are that kind of guy, you're comfortable. What is the size of this? Big beefy mobile phone, nothing bigger than that. This is a small, this is medium, and then you have this is compact, but be mindful, this is faster, meaning if you are dumping C-fast type carts, heavy carts, this will able to digest it much quicker. This will take its sweet time. So it can do that. Actual RAID is there. UPS functionality, it will not run on battery longer. You have to provide your power bank. That is there. And then you have Big Puppy. Big Puppy is UnifyDrive UP6. UP6 is 2 lakh rupees. It's almost a workstation cost. Although right now workstation cost has become stupid, so cheap. So that is, but it has 6 NVMe slot, meaning that's a full-fledged NAS. It is portable, meaning you can carry in your backpack. This you can put in your pocket. This you can forget that you have in your pocket. This is like a backpack material, but it's a full-fledged system, meaning this is something that I can see wedding photographers using. Like if they have multiple people, all of them camera dumping data into this. This is like, I got this. If you have like, you know, like how Linus Tech Tips does, where is like he creates his own setup, whereas carrying the whole crew, and all the crew dumps the data into their portable NAS high-end system. This is that. It has enough oomph, enough compute that it can do some heavy lifting and all that. And it's actually designed to sustain high, you know, read and write speed. So that's a big system. But again, full-fledged PC is like, it's powerful. And my personal favorite, it has display, meaning you do not need to deal with mobile app. You can just plug a USB cable and it will work. So it also has UPS, because again, that's a full-fledged computer. It will require power, but for some example, let's just say your power adapter failed or something happened, it will safely shut down, and it has onboard display, so you will know what is going on. So these sort of products are available, and I'm very happy that all of them have started to come into market only in last 1 to 2 years. So as they sell more, I can easily expect more and more companies to make them, because again, I needed something like this. So, and a lot of photographer, videographer, and engineering people are like, shut up, take money. So fundamentally, products are there, they are expensive, let that be very clear, but for the convenience and the things that they offer, people will just buy it. It's like, if you need it, you're gonna pay for it, the end. So that is that. Now we come to DIY option. Well, because again, it's a necessity in many fields, people build their own solution. So what is the best solution? Again, I really wish Framework laptop was available in India, because you can buy Framework 16 without the GPU module, and you can put a 2 NVMe slot with a 2 on, you know, on the laptop itself. So you can have 3 M.2, 1 just for OS, 3 for data. So you can stripe that, and you can do that with Ubuntu without too much hassle. So you could have ZFS data reliability, Ubuntu's robustness, and Ubuntu has enough software support that you can do deduplication and error correction checking and all that. It can be done. So that sort of option. Unfortunately, I have not seen any cheap laptop that has 2 NVMe slot. Again, most modern laptop, as in anything made after 2020, has enough compute to run a software RAID. It just does not have the slot, physical slot. And you're like, can't we do that over USB? Not recommend it. So that's the frustrating part. If you know any laptop that has 2 full-size M.2 slots, do tell me. So that is there. That's one option. Buy a laptop that has multiple NVMe slot, rare but doable, and for a lot of people that's perfectly fine for them. Second, a single board computer that has, like, you know, portable router with it. And like, what the hell is portable router? Router that you can carry around. Like, I've been to very luxurious hotels, and they do have decent system. But again, if you have your own router, you can do a lot of filtering, so to say. But like, you can have your own VPN, you can have your own ad blocking and all that. So there are a lot of things that a router allows you to do, and a router allows you to act as a bridge for connecting multiple things, meaning you have laptop, you have mobile phone, let's say you like, you know, you have a colleague that is also working. In those sort of scenarios, this makes perfect sense. And be mindful, your network speed is affected a lot by how robust is router. Like, you can have link speed, like I can give you same Geo fiber connection, 250 megabytes per second. But if you have a router that is saturated, it's not able to keep up, it will be slow and sluggish, even though you have a very high bandwidth. So having a quality router matters. So a lot of people are just buying it, and it's not that expensive, like 3,600. So not that expensive in India. So you can buy this. So basically you have a single board computer that is something like this. paired up with this with power banks, and tada, now you have a portable NAS. So if let's say you have a lot of family group that is just traveling, all of them can dump data into this using access point of this, and this can give you internet also if you have like 5G dongle or something like that. A lot of options. So it won't be neat, let that be very clear. When compared to the product options, products are like buy and forget. This will not be that. This will be a messy system that you have to do. But again, need is high enough. You need it, so you're gonna deal with it. Need is high enough. And if you can deal with AC power, basically these things, single board computer, you can run on power bank. But if you're like, hey, wherever I'm going, I'm gonna have like AC mains power, or by the way, there are some power banks that are big enough that they have AC inverter into it. So if you have one of those, like Jackery, those sort of power bank, then you can just buy like, Miniform's flagship computer. At that point in time, it's full-fledged PC. It's gonna be fine. Like at that point in time, you can have multiple crew working. It's like I was trying to cover Chemtech Expo. Inside that there is Scale Expo, and again I was worried about this. But imagine if I had a crew, like a lot of people dealing with it. Yeah, I did not have the infrastructure to deal with that. This is like, I got this. Everybody can dump data using the Wi-Fi router, directly dump data into this. Ta-da. So DIY is also an option, but be mindful. You have to do a lot of jiggering. But again, people need it, so they put up with it. So this was my presentation on this new era that is coming into portable NAS. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike. Press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.